When you realize that everything you want is in the power of your own hands, you start to move different. Let's get it, y'all. Let's make big things happen. Hey everybody, welcome to But I Did It. It's your girl Lachey. I am here. I'm recording a little late today. It's Monday, but I really am trying to get back on track with everything, y'all. So I apologize for missing my last few Mondays. Last week I did put out 2 episodes to try to catch up. So I hope y'all got to listen and catch up. I hope y'all liked it, enjoyed it. Please leave me some comments. Let me know what y'all think. If it's topics that y'all want me to kind of cover and also bring up, let me know. So I got my makeup and everything done today. I actually went and did a photo shoot today. It was really fun. It was just a breath of fresh air, to be honest. And so I can't wait to post those pictures. It was a little birthday shoot for myself. So look for those coming up probably about like 2 weeks. I'll post those around my birthday. But if you're wondering like what's up with all the makeup and stuff, that's what today was. So let's dive into what I want to talk about today. Point of topic, running in place. I know I kind of had hit on this on one of my other episodes, and I was like, I really want to talk about that running in place type feeling. And what I mean when I say that is not necessarily procrastination, like, oh, you got something to do, but you're not doing it. No, what I mean by running in place is that you are very much busy. Like you're checking the boxes, you're doing what you said you were going to do, but you're still not going anywhere. That going nowhere fast, saying. And this is something that kind of came to me last month when I was at work and I felt like I was doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm working, take care of home, keeping up with the kids. I'm trying to balance myself. So I'm doing all the things that I said I was going to do. And we're out here, we're adjusting to Texas. But I still, when I did an evaluation of where I really am, like myself and my personal goals, it was a light bulb that went off for me that's like, you in the same place. You in the same place you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And this is not what I want. And so when I realized that, I kind of took a moment to really just accept it, to take it all in. And once I did that and I was able to evaluate again, like where I'm at, everything clicked for me. And that's what came to me is like I feel like the Lord is telling me the spirit, again, I'm spiritual. So if you feel like the universe or however what you want to relate to, but the message that came to me was running in place. Lachey, you doing a whole lot, but you ain't going nowhere. And I'm really want to get out of that cycle. I really want to get out of this cycle. And so with that being said, I sat down and I put together some notes for today. So one of the things like, okay, what happens? How do you get to this place of you're constantly moving, you're constantly staying busy, you are doing the things that you said you were going to do, and you're tired. Like I'm exhausted all the time. I always feel like I'm tired because I'm constantly being busy, right? But I'm still not necessarily elevating or leveling up like I really want to. I had to realize what's keeping me basically stuck. Like what's keeping me in this position, not really advancing. One of them is grief. Like I spoke on, I lost my brother going on 3 years now, and I have not really dealt with that, to be honest. I have not sat down with myself and really accepted the fact that he's not here. I do this mind trick for myself, and I mean, if you've dealt with grief or if you are dealing with grief, then you can probably relate to what I'm saying and understand where I'm coming from when I say I was disassociating with the fact that he's not really here. And I was putting myself in scenarios where it's like, he's here, I just can't get to him, or he's here, I just can't see him. And that was kind of a big part of like coming to Texas because I felt like, okay, well, in Texas, I can just kind of psych myself out and just be like, he's back in California, he's home. And so now I was supposed to be there this month, June, but I'm actually going to go back and visit next month, July. With that visit coming up and me realizing again, he's not going to be there. Like I'm not going to go home and be able to see my brother. That moment of truth is having me to deal with, again, that grief. But in that, again, is part of me realizing that this is keeping you stuck. you have to accept the fact that your brother is truly gone. So this week has been a bit heavy on me because it's Father's Day week, for one, but also my brother's birthday is this week. And so I've been trying to deal with those emotions and keep myself from falling into that, sad feeling, sadness. But I know that I have to feel it. And so I am giving myself that grace again to just accept, like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to let it out. It's okay. Sadness is a feeling that we all have. It's an emotion, but I'm not to get stuck in that. Feel it and let it pass. Don't hold it in, because then that's the part where, again, I'm allowing myself or even making myself get stuck in that emotion because I'm not processing it. So if you don't process it, then it just gets stuck. And you're constantly feeling that emotion, even when you try to stuff it. And it's like, okay, I don't want to deal with that right now. So I'm just going to push it to the side, out of mind, out of sight. And then something triggers you and it comes right back up. And it's like, damn, okay, I don't want to deal with this. But it's going to continue to happen unless you process it. And so that's why I'm really pushing myself to deal with the grief of losing my brother, because every time it comes for me, when I'm triggered, I go to a place where I just shut down. I don't want to do nothing for the day. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to go nowhere. I just want to grip my pictures and just sit and look through all my pictures and just soak. Which, I mean, yeah, if I do that, like I said, his birthday's coming up. So on his birthday, if I want to sit with his pictures and kind of, be in my memories of him, that's one thing. But to do that every day, or to not allow myself to process the grief of, like, he's really gone, and then to continue to go back into that every time I'm triggered. It's like, no, I can't do that. I have to let it go. I am definitely working on that. So doing the same thing, constantly having those same habits is not going to open the doors for you. Stop doing the same thing over and over. That's insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Change it up. And it could just be one small thing, get up earlier in the morning by 5 minutes. It don't have to be a whole hour earlier. Move your alarm clock up by 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Do it gradually, do it slowly. You don't have to jump the gun. Don't set yourself up for failure. If you know that you're a person that struggles with change, myself one of them, do it gradually. And then allow yourself to catch up and to accept the change that is happening. You really want to lose weight. When you go to the grocery store, buy one thing that's going to help you in your health journey, and avoid buying one thing that you would usually buy that's not going to help you. Like for myself, every time I go to the grocery store, I grab blueberries. It's an easy, good snack, and I love them, and the kids love them too. And so that's something I've started to do. But I also avoid buying chips, because I used to always get chips and that was my snack. I don't buy chips anymore when I go to the grocery store because it's not helping me in my journey. So just those little changes. It does not have to be drastic, but can't keep looking and saying, why am I here? Take accountability. Take accountability for your actions and the choices you're making, and then decide on where you want to go. And if you truly want change, again, small changes. You want to start saving for a house, but you have never put nothing to the side. $5 out of every paycheck. And don't go back and use it for anything else. Just set that $5 aside. It literally starts with those small changes. And I think that's something where people kind of get stuck at, because it's like, I want to make a change, and you jump. Again, me, because I was like, oh, I need to, do something different. It's like, bam, we're going to move to a whole nother state. Did that really work out? I don't know, y'all. We're working on it. But anyways, make it small. Quit jumping the gun. Talking to myself as much as I'm talking to y'all. It does not have to be a drastic change. Start small. And I have to do that in order to start to move forward. And so that's something that I am working on. Like I said, when my brother passed, I had did some counseling, like I had got into some therapy, but we never got to deal with the grief part because it was so much other stuff that we kind of hit on. got little issues there, but I'm working through it. So we never got to the grief of my brother. Ever, she had actually recommended that I continue to see somebody when I came to Texas. But again, life just kind of took off when I got here and we went in a different direction than what we had originally planned. And so that's what kind of happened there. Another point of that running in place of why, again, this is, something that I went through when I did my evaluation. So you have to do your own evaluations. But another point that came up for me was looking for approval. So, I talked a lot about how I really, after I went through that phase, I was in prison, I came home and just like, my life before I really started to say, okay, let me start making some changes as far as, where I want to be, I started to look just for that normalcy. Like I just wanted to be normal. I didn't want to be the girl with the felony. I didn't want to be, that lady that didn't complete high school. I didn't want, all those things to kind of be me. And so I started to look for the approval of others, honestly, to be like, oh, Lashay's doing good. And she is, quote unquote, living a normal life, right? To where it's like, oh, I have a husband and my kids, and we're just doing what adults do. And so a part of that, and with me doing my evaluation, is realizing that I'm not doing what I want to do. So I had mentioned that I had got a job as a bookkeeper. I'm not working anymore. It didn't necessarily work out as far as schedules for us, and also a lot of other stuff that's just kind of did not work out. And so I was really sad to let that job go because I really liked it, but I had to realize that I was really putting myself back into that place of just doing the norm, doing what looks good and what fits. It's like, okay, I got me an office job, I work a 9 to 5, and I'm living that normal life. But really, as much as I like accounting and I like the work that I did, I wanted to kind of step out of that and tap into more of my creative side, which is what this podcast is. I really want to get into something different, and I've been trying to work on that. And so with me going back to work as an accountant and getting a bookkeeper job, it was me going back into those same behaviors and patterns as well. And so once I started working, I really let up on me with my fitness and my wellness as far as working out and being on top of, keeping track of my goal. And last month, I actually gained weight because I just stopped paying attention to what I was doing. And I was just focusing on doing what needed to be done. And it's crazy because when I had went and checked in with like my trainer at the gym, and I had told her, she's like, I haven't seen you in a few days. You've been kind of missing class. So you haven't really been here. And so I was just telling her like, oh, well, I'm back at work and this and that is going on. And she was like, okay, well, it sounds like you just are in survival mode. Like you just getting through it. And I'm like, you know what, to be honest, I am. I went right back into that same pattern and those same habits of just getting through. And so I'm not being present in a moment. I'm just there. And that's not what I want. Again, looking for that approval of others to be like, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but knowing that truly that's not what I want. Next, embrace your rest period. So this was something that like slapped me in the face because again, with the job, felt like I was doing good, and I'm like, I just gotta try to keep up. Like I said, as far as I said, with our schedules not working out, so my husband works where he has to work away from home to where it's like just me and the kids, where it's me basically by myself with the kids, and so that's hard when I'm trying to work a full-time job and be here with the kids full time. And I'm not, I don't know. I feel like in California, that's definitely something I can do because I have, different support systems set up. And then I'm used to California, and the town that we were in is really small. So like that works. It's a little different to try to do that here. And so that became a struggle. What I was saying with the embracing the rest period is that I got burnt out really quick with the job. I got burnt out really quick. So by time we got to my second or month I've been at the job, I was already like tapping, and the job could tell. It was more of a slap in the face because even though I did speak with them and I gave them, my resignation, I kind of explained the situation. It was more of a mutual, like, yeah, we understand and we kind of see what's going on with you. And so it hurt because I wanted to be there and I wanted to push myself to do my best. And I feel like I did, but I wasn't my best. Even though I gave my best, I wasn't my best, if that makes sense. Like, I know I could do so much better, but I was not able to do my best because of everything that was just going on. When I separated with them right now, that was a slap in the face of like, you're pushing yourself to do more than what you can do right now. You need to just embrace the fact that you need to be still. And that's what I'm trying to do right now is like, okay, accept the fact that I can only do so much because there's so much more that I want to do. I'll have all these thoughts, ideas, and like in my mind, I see myself doing so much more. But realistically, I can only do so much, and that's not just the physical. Like, I tend to get stuck in a space of if it can be done physically, then it can be done. But I forget to take into consideration the mental part of it. Like, just because I can physically do it, what about mentally? Like, where are you mentally? And then I end up putting too much on myself, and I drive my anxiety up the roof. Like, I just make myself have so much anxiety, and then I end up crashing and I have that burnout. And so I really want to get out of that habit. So I'm trying to embrace my rest period and stop being busy just to be busy. Like, again, like I'm running in place. Like, I've got so much I'm doing. I'm getting the things done. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm busy, but I'm doing that just to be busy. So it's like, are you actually being productive? Or are you just staying busy? I noticed that I am still doing it, even though, like, as I'm talking about it right now, I'm still doing it. Like, I filled up my whole next 2 weeks coming for June until July comes because I just want to stay busy. But then I'm not allowing myself to rest and really tackle what's going on. I need to just step back. Also, when I am doing that by staying busy, I'm not allowing myself to really sit down and figure out what I want. So when you're trying to elevate, you want to level up, you want to get to that next place of where you really want to be, you got to know what you want. That's part of it. And so many times we get stuck with the fact of like, oh, I know what I want. I just want to make more money. Okay, how much more money? More money doing what? Like, you have to be specific when you really want to get to that next place. And my whole thing is, okay, I know I want something different, but I'm really still trying to figure out what different looks like for me. I don't know. And it's hard because I have to take in consideration myself, but also my kids. I have to think about when I change things for myself, more than likely, it's going to change things for them too. And so what does that look like? And am I really going to be okay with that? I don't know. It's what I'm still working on. I think I'm getting closer to figuring it out. And so I'm definitely proud of myself for that. I'm looking forward, like I said, to when I get to Cali, like I'll be able to have more space to kind of sit down and really evaluate some more things. But right now, I know I need to make up my mind. You neither can be nor hot nor cold. Like, you have to make up your mind. You can't be going back and forth, teeter-tottering with what you want. And so figuring out exactly what you want and then sticking to that. Stop going back and forth. If you're tired of being in the same position, and I'm not talking about just physically, like mentally, emotionally, financially, if you're tired of being in that same spot, then you have to really make up your mind on what you want and stick with it. And I'm talking to y'all just like I'm talking to myself because this, again, is the man in the mirror. Like, I need to make up my mind on what I want and stick with it. And it's hard because, again, now we're talking change, right? But to embrace that, and I said on my last episode, like, change is the only thing that is consistent. But it's still hard. It's still hard. No matter how much change you go through, it's always going to be apprehensive because you never know what's after change. Like, you never know what's on that other side of the door. Right now, I am embracing where I'm at. I am 36, 35, 2 more weeks, 35 for 2 more weeks. And I am embracing where I'm at as a mom, as a wife, as a human being, as Lachey, and I'm really trying to dive into what is next for me. I am hoping that this podcast grows more. I've been networking really hard. I've been meeting, some really great women here in Houston, and I can't wait to just have more guests on the podcast and talk about some more things that I feel like will be beneficial and helpful. Share some more testimonies as I'm, sharing my own. But I want to really drive home today is do some evaluations if you're in that same place of you not really seeing the change that you want. You keep saying you want it, but you're not seeing it. And everything else keeps changing. And this is something that I actually talked with my husband about. We had this conversation just recently because it's like this is a new state and just so much new stuff. But then it's still the same. It's still a lot of the same thing. It's like having that old car and then just slapping some new paint on it and saying, okay, expecting it to be new. But did you check the engine? I mean, did you even look under the hood? You're not going to get nowhere. Really. You're not going far with that. Real change. You got to be able to pop that hood open, see what needs to be switched out, and do the work. And so change didn't really happen. We just made it look like it did, if that makes sense. You can't keep disguising it. You can't keep faking it. You can't take a wolf and put him in sheep's clothing and then say he's a sheep now. Like, that's not how it works. I feel like a little bit everywhere, but I hope this conversation was good. A little catch up with what's been going on lately. Like I said, trying to get some balance, get back into my workouts and everything else. If you're not following me on Instagram, look me up. I Can Only Be Shay. And also on TikTok, I Can Only Be Shay. Thank y'all for tuning in. I've got some good stuff coming. Stay tuned. Okay, bye.